North Texas weekends can be busy. Running errands, the honey-do list, to chauffeuring the kids. Meteorologist Patrice Brown is your weekend weather connection. Saturdays on Weather Tracker TV. Now the tropical update. Always at 37 minutes past the hour on Weather Tracker TV.
And welcome back to Weather Tracker TV. It is 37 minutes past the hour, and so that means it is time for our tropical update. And of course, the big story is Julia. She was a tropical depression earlier in the week. She caused flooding in Trinidad and Tobago. A couple of days ago, also causing flooding in the ABC Islands, mudslides in Venezuela and Colombia, and now Julia has its sight on, her sights set on the Central American coast. Mainly Nicaragua and Honduras is in that area as well. So more on that in a moment. Right now, let's look at the big picture here. We're showing you this to show you that there's nothing going on. Besides Julia, there are no other waves coming off the coast of Africa. There's just nothing going on. So our focus right now is on Julia. Right now, it has winds at 65 miles per hour. Pretty strong tropical storm that we are expecting to turn into a hurricane later on tonight into tomorrow morning. But what really sticks out to me is the speed at which it is moving. 21 miles per hour. That's a pretty good clip. So I guess the good news with that is that if it's moving faster, it has less time to drop a lot of rain. It already is going to bring a lot of rain, but perhaps not as much rain as it could. Looking at our satellite imagery here, you can see how symmetrical Julia is. You can also see all of this deep convection. So it's definitely strengthening. We're going to see that strengthening, like I said, going later on tonight and into tomorrow. Now looking at our real-time visible satellite, okay, updates every 1 minute. You can see that same thing where you saw the center. You can see that bubbling up there as well. And so you can see again, even with this, the intensification of Julia. Okay, so you can see it trying to become a hurricane. You can see the eye there as it's coming across Nicaragua, Honduras, okay, and it's going to also be affecting surrounding countries as well. Now, what's going to happen after that? Well, the reason why we're not thinking it's going to come up toward the U.S. is because there's a huge high pressure that's blocking it, like a mountain. It's making Julia just go right around it, and that's why it's kept that western track, okay? So once it makes landfall, it's going to get sheared apart and, of course, dump a lot of rain, unfortunately, on that mountainous terrain. But it could possibly come back out into the Pacific, like a cross-basin hurricane, as we call it, and reform. But again, that is days into the future. That's something that we'll just have to keep our eye on. And look at this wind field. You can see that dark blue color coming right toward Nicaragua. And then you can see, in fact, it gets sheared apart when it hits that mountainous terrain.